Hello, hey, it's Joe Malone, Joe Show on Star 106, and with me, the owner, promoter of North Iowa Fights MMA, Mike Estes. Mike, good afternoon. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Excited because we are less than 2 weeks away from Fight Night at the Mason City Arena, and you've got another stacked card with double digit amount of fights.
Yes. Yep. Got 10 fights, 5 pro, 5 amateur.
And now, when it comes to North Iowa Fights MMA, this is something that you've been doing for quite a while, and you're like a well-oiled machine now with the way things go when it comes to fight night. And as a fan, and also, I'm working, I'm on the job while the fights are going on, but it's a good time, man.
Oh, yeah. It's a real good time. It's a lot of fun, entertainment as well.
Now, let's talk about tickets because first and foremost, you got to get a ticket to be able to get into the stands, be one of the fans. What is the easiest way to go about getting your tickets?
You can get your tickets now at northiowatix.com. That's general admission and some Southside tables. If you need some suites or VIPs or maybe some closer tables, get a hold of your local fighter or call 641-420-9422 and ask for my wife, Kathy, and she'll be mobile and be able to deliver tickets to you. Or she can have them at will call and you can pay with Venmo or Cash App or on Facebook Messenger.
Okay, excellent. And NorthIowaTix.com, that's TIX, you'll see it scrolling across the bottom right there. It makes it super simple to see where the seating sections are, what the pricing is. And I mean, you can get in the door for as little as $20, which is pretty good for a full night of entertainment.
Yes, and tickets go up $5 more at the door. That's why we like to get those pre-sold. So if you want to save $5 a ticket, then start pre-buying. If not, you can buy them for just $5 more at the door.
All right, so let's talk fights. We've got 10 of them on the card for North Iowa Fights MMA 14. And talk to me about putting this card together. What sort of matchups do we have? And is it all going to be stand-up sort of action? Do you got submission people? Like, what do you got in store for us?
Well, I got 10 pro fighters altogether and 10 amateurs altogether. I got 5 people making their debuts, including that women's bout. I got a big title fight against the Nick Diaz Academy versus Team Brock Waterloo, Iowa. So we got California versus Iowa. I got a nice custom belt on the way coming from Pakistan that I put a lot of detail in. But yeah, overall, the fights are really good. Like I said, I don't need any more than 10 because this is it. Even if I lost one, I may add another or not, but it's just a couple of fights alone are just worth the $20 itself. So,
well, I'll bring up some of the matchups that we have here. We're going to kind of run down from fight one to the final fight of the night. This one is Arnold versus Samuelson. This is one of the amateur bouts.
Yeah, this is the amateur bout. Arnold's making his debut. Brandon Samuelson has trained with us on and off. It's basically Quad City versus Quad City. They used to be training partners together before Brandon started coming to me. So there's a lot on the line for that fight. I think Brandon wants to show his improvements, and I think Kevin also as well wants to show his improvements as a debut fighter. So it'll be kind of cool and interesting for a first fight to kind of have different emotions, being that they used to train together.
Now, for an amateur, is it all adrenaline? Like, how do you keep somebody calm when they're going into the ring for their first, second, maybe third time, knowing that you're about to get hit and you're about to hit people?
Well, usually if you're training, you understand what is going on. So like kind of like when you take that first step forward and you start throwing those punches, then the adrenaline, I feel, just takes over automatically. Because at that point, if you care or give a crap, which you should, otherwise you're not invited in my show.
Yeah.
Then everything just takes care of itself right there.
All right, we'll bring up the second fight here. Tell me, where are these gentlemen from?
Dylan Stanky, he's from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and he trains with Trayvon Kruger and Sammy May. They're all like training partners, and they train at other gyms up there. Trayvon just won a professional boxing match. He's 2-0, so he's kind of like their leader and their go-to guy. Dylan won against Draven Lance, and he finished him in the third, but I had it tied 1-1, and then Dylan finished it. And now we got Dylan Kirkwood. He's coming from the academy. It's a well-known gym in Minnesota. I don't know much about him, but I know that both these guys are going to both be standing up as well and fighting each other. I think they both come from more of a stand-up background.
Okay. Now, third fight of the night. Looks like we're getting into the bigger guys. I don't know if this is classified as a heavyweight fight or not, but just looking at the pictures, you're moving some human beings around here.
Yeah, this is the 185 bout. This is Raul Lopez versus Robert Exis. I think that's how you say it. Robert's been wanting to fight in my shows, for about a year now. He even sent me blood work months and months ahead of time, and he's just like, you got to give me a fight, And let me rephrase that. When I get phone calls all the time from fighters, from people I don't know, so it makes me nervous and worried. So I kind of got to get to know them, and have a relationship with them for a while. So I was kind of trying, but kind of not. Then I started trying harder, especially when Robert bought a ticket at my fight show and was like, Mike, it's me. And then we started talking. He's like, man, I got to get this fight. And he's already sold about 2 or 3 tables and selling tickets online. So he's actually bringing a good fan base from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. He's trying and he's doing his part. Raul is that Arnold guy's teammate. They train at Marty's MMA in the Quad Cities. So it's debut versus debut. So it'll be exciting to see as well. And usually when you get some debuters in there, which I know if these guys are both stand-up fighters as well, they're both going to be, probably throwing those 4-ounce gloves in a boxing style,
Well, it's nice to hear the passion and the pursuit of Essex just wanting to be a fighter, and in your promotion as well. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that pays off inside the ring. That want, that desire, that dedication that you were talking about there.
Yes, sir.
Next fight that we've got, it's the ladies. And if you remember, this would have been last year, Sammy May, fight of the night. And it may have been close, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was a awesome fight. And she's going up against a hometown girl from Mason City.
Yeah, Holly Dite. She's been training with me for the past 6 months, hasn't missed the class. She works real hard. She's making her debut. She started off at my gym as kind of like a fitness girl because her yoga class was shut down for about 2 weeks. So she wanted to know if she can come there and work out. I like to train just fighters only. So when we had to do the fitness part into it, I was kind of like, all right. And then, so finally she kept coming. I'm like, well, if you want to keep coming, we're going to start, training harder and, doing MMA stuff. And she's really proved herself as well. Sammy May has proved herself. She's had a couple of kickboxing fights, and then she's 1-1 there, I believe, and 1-0 MMA. And she got fight of the night, $500 cash from Studio 65, Mary Weiss. She gave that to her. This is potential fight of the night itself right now. And I forgot to add in the beginning of all this, I'm getting $500 from Munson Customs for knockout of the night.
Oh, for knockout of the night.
Yeah, I'm not saying this will be, but just in general. That I
fighters, do they know that there's that money on the line for knockout of the night or fight of the night? Is that something that goes on in the back of their mind? Like, man, if I really do this good, I'm going home with some extra cash.
Well, yeah, like I said, I make announcements at the rules meeting and stuff like that. And I think it gives the fighters more motivation, And when I say knockout of the night, and I hope you fighters are listening, that doesn't mean rush, fast knockout. You could knock them out in the 3rd round. You got amateurs got 3 rounds, 3 minutes, and pros got 3 rounds, 5 minutes. You got plenty of time to wait for that knockout.
Okay. Now, Holly used to be a ring card girl in the North Iowa Fights MMA. That's kind of a cool backstory.
Yeah, she was a ring card girl for me for about 6 years. And the most words that we ever said to each other is, hey, how's it going? And she'd be like, hi. And then that was it. I was like, well, geez, I'll never, have a conversation with this person, I guess. But, she has to get to know you and stuff like that. And, that's how it is with everybody, So she's opened up a lot more, especially at our gym and stuff like that.
Melissa, thanks for sharing. Hope to see you there. Appreciate that. Feel free to leave a comment too. Do you got a certain fighter that you're looking forward to seeing at North Iowa Fights MMA 14? Let us know in the comments, and we'll get that shared up on the screen. So fight number 5, is this the final amateur fight of the evening?
Yes, that's the final amateur fight of the evening. It's Bailey Biscatine versus Jake Bauer. Bailey is 3-2, and Jake's 1-1. Jake's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Bailey says he doesn't care. And I think they're both good fighters. Jake does stuff with me on YouTube and stuff like that, Octopus Films, and he owns a gym in Ames, and he trains with Josh Neer and Elite Edge MMA. This is another Marty's MMA from Quad Cities that trains with Raul Lopez and Kevin Arnold Jr. So they got 3 guys coming from their team, which I enjoy, when you got a couple of guys from the same gym coming, especially when they're coming from, I think it's like 3.5 hours away. So they'll be traveling over here, being at weigh-ins. I got this down as potential fight of the night as well.
Oh, wow. Now, before we get into the pro bouts, the second half of the fight card, I want to show some highlights that were clipped from North Iowa Fights MMA 13. So we'll just run through some of these real quick, because this is just a small sample of what you're going to see when you buy a ticket to the show.
Locker room, if you planned on picking up a slight result. Oh, my God, body kick. And Merrill is down. And look at the speed of Moda.
Wow.
And Tyrone Roberts has,
Eddie Cooper
got the multiple punches by Austin Robinson. Tyrone Roberts giving instruction.
Lefferts keeps turning, so that's
it. And John Kennedy is going to be incredibly difficult to push past.
But he's smiling over there, tongue out. John Kennedy is. He lives for this.
Should I declare it over again, Mike?
I would not.
That kick to the head still gets me every single time.
Yeah, he got 8 staples.
Oh my goodness gracious. That was, and now some of those fighters that we saw there, the first one was a gentleman from Brazil that you brought in, and maybe the fastest hands that I think I've ever seen.
It was incredible. People said that, because I had him in our Mason City Fight Team locker room, and Josh Neer's team and mine, and people were just at awe from the coaching and him hitting mitts and stuff. He will be in the UFC. He's got a fight, I think, in a month or 2 in North Dakota for the LFA title main event. So that if he wins that and he doesn't make the UFC, then Dana White's got some problems then.
Hey, Ricky, thank you for the comment. Ricky here saying, great show. It's come a long way. Keep up the hard work, Mike and Kathy. So
thank you. Thanks,
Ricky, appreciate that. And, you're talking about making the trip to UFC, making the trip to, worldwide television audiences and whatnot. That's what you have the opportunity to see, people on that path, people like some of the pro fighters, the pro matchups that you're going to have on Saturday night, July 30th. You can say, I saw that guy at the Mason City Arena, and it only cost me $20 to get in,
Yeah, and then they can follow them on TV, the new fan. Because these fighters, it's my show, I feel, is different from a lot of others. They all get involved with the fans, and I really like to make the weigh-ins and after parties fun at Sports Page and Sidewinder and stuff. So they all mingle. They all mingle well. Even when the Nick Diaz Academy came here, Nate Diaz, he took hundreds of pictures with people and went out literally all night till about 5-6 o'clock in the morning. So missed his flight 3 times in Minneapolis. So finally, where he had to call his private jet to come pick him up.
Must be rough. I got to call my jet. I'm not going to flight.
Yeah.
No. So first fight of the second half of the card, pro fights. What do we got with these guys here?
We got Jesse Ebrich versus Derek Gadelby. Derek is from the Minnesota. I think he's from the Minneapolis area.
Okay.
Or no, St. Cloud area. St. Cloud. He's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. He has a boxing style. He has pro boxing experience. This is an extra fight. I feel like it's a fair matchup. they both messaged me. Derek's guy, originally couldn't fight because of injury. And then Jesse messaged me, and it all ended up just working out. And I was just like, I'm just going to do this fight. I think it's going to be good. The records are evenly matched, close in age too, and they're both in shape. So I'm very interested to see who will win this match. I have no idea at all.
Okay. Now, second pro fight of the night. Couple, I believe, names that I'm familiar with for some reason. Have they been on the promotion before?
Well, Gabriel Tsai, he was from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He got accidental headbutt in sparring, and he got like 10 or more stitches.
Okay.
And he was supposed to fight Mark Career, our guy on the City Fight Team. And then Mark ended up fighting Ryan. And then Gabriel's like, hey, I want to come back. And you could tell he's a responsible, good guy. Some guys, I don't give second chances to, but I also give third chances as well. But I could tell this guy is, really, responsible and stuff like that. So he's like, hey, can I fight Mark this time? And I'm like, well, Mark's going to Bellator MMA, which I fought in, which is the second biggest promotion in the world. So now Ryan wanted to fight again. Ryan trains with us sometimes in Mason City Fight Team, mostly trains in Forest City, and he's trained with us at Elite Boxing as well. They're close in age. They're both vets, been doing it about the same amount of time. So you got pro debut versus one fight pro as Ryan. So I'm excited to see that one as well.
All right. Third and final fight of the night. Cullah, I don't know that much about Larea. He fought in the last event, didn't he?
Yeah, he was the main event. He came in at the last minute and fought Leo Knutz, UFC vet, real tough guy. Leo is a lot tougher than I thought. Just kept, ducking and going in and boxing real well. And then Eddie took him down, and then I think Leo got on top and then just started getting his hooks in, which are his legs, and then stretched him out and just looked for the rear naked choke. Eddie is not a guy to take lightly. I've seen him knock out UFC vets, undefeated fighters, Bellator fighters. He was in a show called In It to Win It back in the day in Cedar Rapids, and they kind of sick the dogs on him, but against this Jody Vitapo guy, but he ended up knocking him out in the first round. And then he went into Bellator, and I don't think anybody was happy about it from Bellator side to the Vitapo side. But that's what I like about it is he doesn't care at all. And he went in Bellator and then won in Bellator too. And then he lost, a couple, and then now he's just been going back and forth and stuff. So, but Eddie is a crazy guy. He's very exciting. I like his style. And then we got Kula. He's originally from Russia. He's not involved in Putin stuff or nothing, you guys. So you can all calm down. He's not the, president or anything. So he's just a fighter. He lives in Las Vegas now. I got him from Teddy Conception. We call him Teddy Las Vegas. He'll be introducing my fights at weigh-ins. They also are friends with those Brazilians that I brought last time. So they're coming from Vegas. Tickets are paid for. They'll be staying here for a few days earlier. He's 5-5. Eddie's had about 75 pro fights. Interested to see that one as well.
Yeah, if I remember too, Eddie, like during the national anthem to pre-fight to even post-fight after not winning that one, seemed to be having the time of his life.
Yeah, he just likes to fight.
It's that simple. Now, before we get to the final two cards, let's touch again on the pre-fight stuff that you've got. You've got weigh-ins on Friday night, July 29th, and fighter matchups. That's something we, the public, can come to, right? Yeah,
it's at Sports Page. I'll be there as early as 3 p.m. Fighters will start walking in 4 to 6 p.m. They'll be doing a podcast interview with 3 Gig Sports out of Gardner, Iowa. So I'll have a podcast there. The Ring Car Girls will be there. Sometimes there's a celebrity or two that's in there, and everybody just talks and mingles and has interviews and pictures and, all that stuff. So then the face off, the pictures where Teddy Las Vegas is going to be like, it even gives me goosebumps. He like has that voice. He has that voice, and he's going to be announcing the weigh-ins. and the weigh-ins are going to be awesome. A lot of people come. Sports page is always packed before and after, as well as the Sidewinder.
Shout out to CB3. Thanks for watching. 75 Pro Fights. He says, whoa, that's legit. And that's what you're getting with North Iowa Fights MMA 14.
Yep.
Now, let's talk a little bit. You've got pay-per-view going on with this fight.
Yeah, we got worldwide pay-per-view. If you can't make the fights, you just spend $34.99. You can be a subscriber, or and that's a different cost. But if you just want to buy the pay-per-view one time, lifetime, it's $34.99. You just go to spectationsports.com, or you can go to Spectation Sports on Facebook and just click the link. All the info will be on the Mike Estes page, North Iowa Fights page, or your local favorite fighters pages.
And then I heard a lot of people talking about it after the last event that you had, the gambling on the pro fights. You can
yes, you can do betting on pro fights only. It's Elite Sportsbook. Download the app, and then you can bet. Sometimes they only have a limit of max betting, but you can just keep clicking the max bet. I know that there has been some people that have betted as high as $5,000 just on one fight at the Mason City Arena. So there's people there spending big money. There's been an average of $1,000 to $2,000 per fight. So download the app now and just be ready so there's no issues, because sometimes there is. A lot of people are downloaded at the last minute. Just download Elite Sportsbook, put your info in, and get all ready to bet on the North Iowa Fights at the Mason City Arena.
Could you imagine putting $5,000 on a fight? I don't know that my heart could take that.
Yeah, the person lost the money too.
Oh no!
They lost the money too, but there's people also that won. But the big guys that were betting were losing. So
wow,
because they're betting on the underdog a little bit. But sometimes the underdogs win. Like last show, John Kennedy was the underdog and he won. And I know a couple people spent $400 on him, and they ended up winning double the money plus a little more or whatever. So, but just think if the $5,000 guy would have won them.
I need to find the people that are winning and then hang out with them for the after party.
Yeah,
that's what I need to be doing.
Right.
After party. Is there an after party?
Yeah, the after party is at the sports page immediately after till midnight, and the midnight after party is at the Sidewinder till 2 a.m.
Okay, perfect. Last two fights of the night. This one, if you've seen the billboards driving around, you know about this fight.
Yeah, it's you got John Kennedy versus Dakota Vance. John Kennedy has also fought UFC Bellator and LFA vets. He fights anybody, anytime. And then you got Dakota Vance. He is like a young version coming up. He is a 5-0 amateur, put his last two opponents to sleep. Now he's making his pro debut against John Kennedy. John Kennedy is coming from an upset win against Jim Stapleton. The last fight show in split decision. This will be a good matchup. Dakota is really explosive, really athletic, and him and his dad, Chad Vance, sell about 250 plus tickets or more. And they're the top ticket sellers of North Iowa Fights as fighters. And they do a really good job selling and promoting and stuff like that. So it's good to have them back and bring their fan base here to Mason City Arena. John Kennedy is coming from Texas. I'm going to have to pick him up at the airport, and he's just coming to fight. He just loves the show in general. We've had a great relationship as well. I'm excited to see this matchup as well.
Now, throw this back up here. Robert saying dogs pay better, worth the risk. Who would be the underdog in this matchup if you were the odds maker?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
The underdog, I feel, would be John Kennedy.
You think John Kennedy would be? Okay.
He was last time too, though, and then he won.
Okay.
So
that's half the fun of it too.
Yep.
And then the final fight of the night
is Mike Pizzola versus Jose Aguayo. Mike Pizzola is a vet of the sport. Everybody that he's probably trained with is all retired from fighting now. So he's probably training with like the new era and stuff like that. He's a 4-stripe blue belt in jiu-jitsu. I believe Jose Aguayo is the same. They're probably both purple belt levels. Mike comes from a kickboxing boxer style, and Jose comes from a boxer style as well, but also has submissions here at North Iowa Fights. The last time he fought was for North Iowa Fights. His last 2 wins were at North Iowa Fights. This is a fire main event. I know a lot of people are just going to be coming at the door in general just to see this fight. A lot of people know, Mike Pizzola around the area. Waterloo is not that far. And people are new fans of Jose Aguayo, the Nick Diaz Academy. So I think the pay-per-view and the tickets will go nuts over this really good main event as well.
Well, we encourage people to get there early and watch all the fights because some of those amateur fights go off as well. I mean, it's, don't be bougie and just show up for the pros. You want to show up, check out the amateurs as well. Doors are at 4:30. Fights, the event gets started at 6 o'clock. And it's a stacked card that you've got, Mike. Once again, you've got the weigh-ins. You've got the fighter matchups. That is on Friday night starting at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, the face-offs will, but I recommend coming early just to mingle.
Okay. And then the after party is at the sports page. The after party is happening at the Sidewinder Lounge. So it's going to be awesome, and it's less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's coming up really quick. So I recommend getting your tickets if you want a good seat. A lot of the tables are gone right now. And like I said online, there's a few left, or to get a hold of your local fighters, get a hold of my wife, get these tickets. This is the last show of the year at the Mason City Arena. So the next time I'll have a show at the Mason City Arena is not till next May.
Yeah. So if you want,
recommend seeing this. I am going to do another show, November, December, but I'm not going to say where yet. It might be in Mason, and it might be out of town. I got people hitting me up, from Coralville, Iowa City, Des Moines, Mason City, casinos around Iowa. So it's just going to depend on where I do it. I could do it at the Fairgrounds of Mason City. Who knows? Y'all just stay tuned and be patient. But like I said, this is the last show of the year at the Mason City Arena, so don't miss out.
Well, NorthIowaTix.com is the website to go to get your tickets. Mike, thanks so much, man. It's been fun, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.